talking of the black holes in the atoms and the subatomic particles, and then within our bodies, to me, I've often wrestled with this concept of the black hole at the center of the sun, or the black hole at the center of the earth, or the black hole at the center of our heart. How do you see those connecting, like, say, the black holes in the atoms to the black hole at the center of the sun?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good question. You can imagine that if space is not empty, and everything we see in the material world is just divisions of the space, like membranes that divide the space. If the space between this membrane and this membrane is not empty, then whenever this one oscillates, it oscillates the space, which oscillates this one, and then it oscillates the space, which oscillates this one, at all the scales. So I think the key to understanding the connection between all of the scales is to realize that the space between these scales is not empty. So any changes from any scale has an impact on all other scales. So they're all connected through the field of the structure of space-time.
So is that why then human consciousness can change the molecular structure of water?
Yes, this is why things seem to be entangled. This is why things such as you mentioned, a certain energy, a certain emotion can make a physical effect outside ourselves. Absolutely. It explains many of these phenomenons, for instance, telekinesis, and healing capabilities. I think all of these things are different functions of the vacuum that connects all things that can be driven by consciousness, because consciousness is a feedback in the vacuum. So if you input a certain amount of information in the vacuum, then the vacuum will react to that information, and that can be measured in the transformation of water or other things, including a healer intending to heal a tumor and so on, and a tumor disappearing in front of your eyes as the healer project that this tumor does not exist, that it shouldn't be there, then the vacuum starts to make that the reality. And so all these phenomenon that we think of as magic and that seems to be outside of our understanding of physics and outside of our understanding of the mechanics of the universe, actually I think can be understood within physics and within mathematics and within the mechanics of our universe, if we understand that the vacuum is present and that it connects all things.
So one last point then. Is it okay to describe a black hole as not matter or antimatter?
I think it's, I would say more appropriately that it's not okay to describe matter as separate from space. That's an illusion. Meaning that when you look at matter, it's 99.9999999% space. So what we're looking at when we're looking at matter is a little oscillation, electromagnetic oscillation that appears to produce a boundary condition, and we say, oh, here's matter. However, when you look carefully, there's not really a billiard ball there or something solid. There's just vibration of the space itself. So I think, this is why I use the word black hole, where I modify hole for whole, W-H-O-L-E, because I think that the concept of black holes we have today are not complete. I don't think black hole can only absorb information. I think they can radiate information because spin is involved and centrifugal force and Coriolis forces and so on. And as well, I think that if you were to describe them topologically, you could say that a black hole is a little eddy in the structure of space-time. It's a little vortex in the vacuum. And wherever there's a little vortex in the vacuum, we say, oh, there's an atom. If it's a larger vortex, we might say, oh, there's a galaxy, or there's a cluster of galaxies, or here's a quasar, or even here's a planet or a sun. And so I think that's the difficulty, is that we've made boundaries, we've made separations where there is none. Matter does not define the space, space defines matter. Just like if you looked at a little vortex in a pool, but you didn't know it was in the context of a pool, you might think it's an isolated event, when in fact the little vortex you're looking at is part of the water of the pool.
Nassim Haramein, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.